Hey Hugo Reed, I have a book called More Than Anything Else. The story is by Marie Bradley and the pictures are by Chris K. Names are always tricky. Let's see if we can figure this one out. Soen to Pete. I'm not sure how you pronounce that one, but that would be my guess. This is a book about a real person, so although it's a story, it is based on facts, and it's about a man became Booker T. Washington. There's that scene. We can guess it was a long time ago because they didn't have electricity. That's how they read and did things at night. Look at that. What do you think those white hills are? And there's a barrel, and there's the boy with a shovel. I think it's salt, but let's see if that tells if it's true. Oh, this is just the intro. This is the dedications page. So, before light will the stars still twinkle. Papa, my brother, John, and I leave our cabin and take the main road out of town, headed to work. The road hugs the ridge between the Kanawha River and the mountain. We traveled it by lantern. My stomach rumbles, for we had no morning meal. But it isn't really a meal I want, though I would not turn one down. So they're going out to work because they're enslaved. So the children have to go, the adults have to go. And it's still dark out. It's in the morning. More than anything else, I want to learn to read. But for now, I must work. From sunup to sundown, we pack salt in barrels at the salt works. A lot of people working hard. That looks like kind of heavy work. And then they're lifting those big barrels to put them up on the wagon. A white mountain of salt rises above Papa's head. All day long we shovel it, but it refuses to grow smaller. We stop only to grab a bite. Sweet potatoes and corn cakes that Papa has brought along in his coat pocket. I eat every crumb of my meal. I stare at the white mountain. Salt is heavy and rough. The shiny white crystals leave cuts on your hands, your arms, and your legs, and the soles of your feet. Ooh. And when you get salt in a cut, that hurts a lot. So a sweet potato lunch and a corn cake. That they didn't have any breakfast, and that's all they have to eat for lunch. That's not very much, so I bet that they're hungry a lot. What do you think? You can see it back here. Do you see a riverboat? This paddle goes around and it helps move it. My arms ache from lifting the shovel, but I do not think about the pain there. I think about the hunger still in my head. Reading. I have seen some people, young and old, do it. I'm 9 years old, and I know if I had a chance, I could do it too. I think there's a secret in those books. In the chill of the evening, I follow Papa and John back up the road, stopping to catch a frog. The frog wiggles and slips, but I hold on tight and let go when I want to. So they left when it was dark, and they're going back home when it's dark. He's 9 years old. Some of you might be 9 years old that are watching, and he hasn't been able to read. They wouldn't teach enslaved people to read, and certainly they didn't let the children go to school, so they couldn't learn a lot of things. Now, kind of a weird time with us because you guys are home and we're doing school at home and stuff, but can you imagine if you were 9 and you wanted to go learn to read and write and do all those things, but you just had to work every morning till every night? That's what this was for Booker. There's something different about this place where we live now. All the people are free to go where they want and do what they can. Book learning swims freely around in my head. I hold on to it as long as I want. Back in town, coal miners, rivermen, loggers, and coopers gather on the corner. They are as worn out as me, but full of tales. So a cooper is a barrel maker. So I may have misspoke, although he was born into slavery, I know. So he was a slave. This makes it sound like this is after the emancipation, and now it says they're free to come and go as they want, but they're still working hard and exhausted. So let's see if it gives us some more clues as we read along here. I see a man reading a newspaper aloud, and all doubt falls away. I have found hope, and it is as brown as me. I see that myself, the man, as I watch his eyes move across the paper. It is as if I know what the black marks mean, as if I am reading, as if everyone is listening to me. I hold that thought in my head. So it sounds like he's imagining that that's him up there talking and people are listening to him. I will work until I am the best reader in the country. Children will crowd around me. I will teach them to read. But Papa taps me on the shoulder. Come on. And John tugs at my shirt. They don't see what I see. They don't see what I can be. We hurry home. Mama, I have to learn to read, I said. She holds my hand and feels my hunger racing as fast as my heart. It's a small book, the color of midnight. She gives it to me one evening in the corner of our cabin, pulling it from under the clothes that she washes and irons to make a little money. She doesn't say where she got it. She can't read it herself, but she knows this is something called the alphabet. She thinks it is a singy kind of thing, a song on paper. So if she is working to make a little money, that means they are not enslaved anymore, likely. After work, even though my shoulders still ache, my legs are stained with salt, I study my book. I stare at the marks and try to imagine the song. Think if you had to figure out how to read all by yourself. Excuse me. I draw the marks on the dirt floor and try to figure out what sounds they make, what story their picture tells. But sometimes I feel I'm trying to jump without legs, and my thoughts get slippery, and I can't keep up with what I want to be, and how good it will feel when I learn this magic, and how people will look up to me. I can't catch the tune of what I see. I get a salt shoveling pain and feel my dreams are slipping away. I have got to find him, that newspaper man. See, he's writing his letters in the dirt floor. I look everywhere. Finally, I find that brown face of hope. So that was the man that was up on the wagon reading. And it's probably extra exciting to him because he is black like Booker is. And there weren't very many people that were able to read that weren't white at that time in history. He tells me the song, the sounds the marks make. I jump up and down, singing it. I shout and laugh like when I was baptized in the creek. I have jumped into another world and I am saved. He can now read. He's in the reading world. But I have to know more. Tell me more, I say. What's your name, he asked. Booker, I say, and he makes the sound of my name and draws it on the ground. Booker. I linger over that picture. I know I can hold it forever. What a privilege we have that we don't think about. So Booker T. Washington went on to be a leader of his people. He became very educated. He became active in government, and he was a orator, they say, which is like a speech giver. He advised several presidents. So Booker T. Washington. Washington like George Washington, same last name. So if you're looking for a good biography, Booker T. Washington would be an interesting one. That's the book of the week. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.